going on, family, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? It is your boy Aaron. Hold on, if my camera can focus. I'm sorry about the camera if it's acting crazy throughout this video, because right now I gotta get my camera repaired and all that. But anyways, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Aaron. It's your boy Aaron signing back in with another video. And if you're new to the channel, welcome to the One Squad over here, y'all. We are over here trying to impact and change lives and help each other grow over here and on this side. But we're over here trying to win on this side. And for those that's new, make sure I hit the subscribe button, like the video, because I am posting every day. Boy Aaron right now is on a consistent journey, so I don't want y'all to miss out on these videos. Anyways, right now today video, as y'all can see from the title and see the environment I was at, even from the intro, like today's gonna be based off of just reading and let's talk about the art of just reading, because majority of us don't take reading as serious. And one thing I've started noticing lately is you get a lot of gems and information, on growing throughout my life from reading. And I'm starting to understand that reading is very important. Growing up as a kid, for me, like, and I'm sure some of y'all can relate to this, I wasn't a big reader. I never enjoyed reading. When I had to read books, like I had to really read like comic books and like picture type books to keep me entertained and to keep me like want to read a book. But when it came to like books with long words, like I couldn't read it. I couldn't sit down and read it. And on top of that, I didn't understand what type of books fit with my character. Like I said, I was more of a comic type of person. If you read comics, there's nothing wrong with that. But one thing I start applying this year is just reading. And right now, as y'all can see, I'm reading What Makes a Great Great. What I'm really gaining from this book is just a lot of gems. How to become a great person and be motivational and run off, not even motivational, just be running off discipline and being consistent and having courage and being way more confident as a overall individual. And so crazy is me back then, like, I wasn't heavy on reading books, like I said, and this is for the people, this video is for the people that just, don't take reading as serious. I just want to send a message out, just like, pick up that book and just read a couple of pages. It could be even a Bible, because one thing about me, me as a Christian, the book I read every day to keep me just reading something is the Bible. And, I have a Bible app to make the process go even faster, but also me keeping up with the Bible and understanding what's going on. And, one thing I've started to notice is wisdom is everything, y'all. And it even says in the Bible, one thing God and Jesus wants us to really look out for throughout our life is just wisdom. And wisdom also can occur in knowledge, and knowledge is very powerful. And me growing up as a kid, my mom always forced me to read, but it was like she had to force me to read. I couldn't just take the will on my own to read. Now I'm at the age of 21. Now I'm trying to take it serious. This is for the people that's young, because right now I got a younger audience, and I know a lot of the younger audience don't be caring to read. And for some of y'all out there, y'all, like, it's very important to start reading and get into your books, because it can really build your character and help you find knowledge through the things you want to accomplish in life. Right now, like I said, right now I'm reading What Makes a Great Great. I also have this other book, How to Outwitting the Devil, and then I have also finances books like Rich Dad Poor Dad, which I advise y'all to get into. And actually, speaking of them, this will show y'all that I have them. I'm gonna pull them up right here, so y'all know this is not fugazi. So I got How to Influence People, Outwitting the Devil, and then The Psychology of Selling. I'm trying to really be on game, y'all. Like I'm really trying to take stuff serious and be serious in my life. And the main thing, like I said, is I read the Bible. But on top of that, I don't even have the Rich Dad Poor Dad's in my car. But anyways, y'all, video, there's gonna be a topic we just talk about just reading in general. And some tips on how you can read. Whenever you have some time, a lot of us, one thing I notice about today's society is just like a lot of us are always on our phone, always scrolling and trying to keep up to date with the Joneses. We don't be realizing like that reading is important. So based off this video, like for me to give you some tips on how you can just sit down and read. When I first started reading, like it took me a while to sit down and actually like read a book and go through a book. And I finished 2 books this year, and what I noticed that how I sat down and actually read was just like turn off that phone and read a couple pages a day. You know, you don't have to read the whole book a day, but you know, I'd say read like 4 pages a day. You know, 4 pages is really not nothing. That's probably like 15 minutes throughout your day just to read a book. And you do that each and every day, you're going to get something out of that book. The book's going to start getting more entertaining, especially if you're reading something just to uplift you and motivate you and build your character and learn like money and finances, because that's a big important thing. And other things too, like, well, just read 4 pages a day. Don't try to jump into a lot of books. I don't recommend that. Like, I advise you to read one book, like stick to one book and focus on that book and focus on finishing that, and then move on to the next. You know, you don't want to overwhelm yourself with too much trying to read this book and that book. You know, you want to really focus on one book at a time, and it could be very, very overwhelming. And you know, it also could take away your, like, you know, what you learned today. You know, and you definitely don't want to just be all over the place with a book. You know, I advise you just to read one book and then move on to the next. And on today's video, y'all, I just really want to talk about how, like, one of the most powerful things you could do in today's society is just read and get knowledge and wisdom, y'all. Like, that's really like the most powerful thing in today. So that's how a lot of people became rich. A lot of people overcame obstacles. Like, they just got knowledge and learned. But like I said, y'all, the reason why people is so big to come over to America is just because the learning over here, y'all. That's what it really is. Learning, the knowledge, the wisdom. They all fall together, and that's why a lot of people want to come over here. Like, even my mom, like, I'm using my mom for example. She's from Haiti, and you know, they really didn't, like, one thing she was taught when she was telling me stories on growing up was just like going to school and learn. Like, learning was, like, education was a big thing. That's why a lot of Americans come over here, y'all. It's just because the education and the learning, it's just like wisdom, bro. It's just, that's why a lot of people from other countries, that's why they cultures and stuff be pushing so much on English, because English is like, if you know English, you can make money because you know how to talk. You really got to do the research on it, y'all. Like, I don't know too much, but I just know that's like the thing why a lot of people want to come over to America, because the education. A lot of these other countries don't have that. And the world is just filled with distractions, you know, notifications, and, you know, short attention spans. And, you know, why I preach reading so much is because, like, picking up a book might seem like it's old or out fashion, but it's just like, reading is not just a hobby or anything, bro. It's like, it really is a superpower, just the knowledge, you know. I like using Tony Stark, for example. He's one of the smartest one of the smartest people in the Marvel universe, and he down there every time. If you really study how Tony Stark moves, it's like how his suits are always built, because throughout his battles, you know, he'll lose a battle and he will rebuild his suit. He will do all that from just losing, and now he'll come back even stronger because the knowledge he has. But, like, that's just crazy. And why I say this is because reading gives you something nothing else can, you know, perspective. When you need to read, you step into, like, someone else's shoes. You see through their eyes, see through all these great thinkers and people with bold dreams and courage leaders. You learn from their mistakes, y'all. Like, you learn a lot. Like, one thing I know is just, like, a smart person learns from their mistakes, but a wise person learns from others. And, you know, you gain their wisdom, you discover the worlds behind you. You know, it's like you invest into yourself, y'all. Reading is really an investment, y'all. Like, buying books, going into the library. You don't even have to buy a book. Just come to the library and just come pick up a book and read it. And I'm just telling y'all, like, it's really an investment. And it's like so around us, it's right there, it's free. But people are so gravitate to the phone in today's society. And, you know, reading expands your mind. It sharpens the way you think. It builds your vocabulary. And it gives you tools to express yourself clearly, confidently, and creatively For real. You know, every successful person you admire, whether it's a business titan or a scientist or a writer or a leader, like they all have one thing in common. They read to grow, and they read to learn, to evolve and stay ahead, you know. Especially in these times, y'all, time is moving fast, and one thing you need to do is stay ahead with the time, or staying with, you got to stay ahead, and you know, or you're gonna get left behind. Because if you don't read, it's just like you ain't learning nothing. And that's the devil, y'all. Like, the devil be trying to do that to you. He don't want you to learn nothing, seriously. But there's real magic into this though. Like, reading doesn't just change what you know, it changes who you are as a person. You know, it definitely changed who I was. I go back and look at old videos, because before I'm doing what I'm doing now, I used to just be vlogging and going to do things. And I'll look at my old videos and look at how my character was and how unconfident I was at one point in time. And my vocabulary is so weak. You know, I'm still trying to grow my vocabulary, but my vocabulary is just weak. And I use the same words, and like, I couldn't really express myself the way I really wanted to, you know. That's why a lot of people couldn't understand, because I didn't take the time to go out here and read and get the knowledge. But like, a single book can just inspire you and just chase, and you know, inspire you to chase your dream. A single sentence can really like shift a mindset, and it can really speak revolution into your life. So if you like really feel stuck or lost, this is for like, this video is for like, if you really feel stuck or lost or uninspired, don't scroll endlessly. Like, don't be scrolling on their phone and stuff. I advise you just to open a book. You know, come to the library, like I said, feed your mind. And, you know, when you feed your mind, you get a lot of fuel off of it. And, you know, start to rise above the average. A lot of 1% people, one thing I know is like, they write books. They teach you how to get rich. They teach you how to overcome things. It's like a lot of things in books, a lot of wisdom. I advise you just to feed your soul with stories that remind you of who you are and who you want to become, you know. In today's world, you know, that moves, it's really, like, I'm gonna keep saying this and retrack on it, like, today's world just moves too fast, and reading teaches us to just slow down and reflect on what's right in front of us, and reconnect with knowledge and ideas in ourselves, you know. I'm just going to end off with this, y'all. Just like, so if you read every day, or you read like your future depends on it, it really does. And for those that understand that sentence, like, I'm gonna just leave it off on that. But anyways, y'all, I got a lot of things to be doing today. I still got to make another video for y'all. So like I said, y'all really got to turn the notice on. We're trying to build a moment, trying to build the legacy over here with the Win Squad, y'all. Like, this is why I made this channel, to really just impact y'all and teach y'all just, it's more to life than what we see on social media. You know, what we see, what other people, even what other people got, like, it's really way more to our lives. And that's just what I want to just start pushing out more over here on this side. I love every single one of y'all. Before you go, pick up a book. And yeah, y'all, that's all I gotta say. I will just see y'all in the next one. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe to the channel, so I can get the notification of the next video when it drops tomorrow. And yeah, y'all, peace out.